Hi everyone, how are you all? This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for support. Okay, big with the CoinsKid crew. So just here last week I was anticipating this being the bottom because historical data points to that, coupled with the fact that on the RSI here we're completely oversold, and whenever you see this on the weekly time frame, like I've said to you many times, when the RSI is in the floor, you always buy more. Okay, but again, no guarantees, and you've got the match of the stock RSI in the floor as well. So there's a lot of confluencing factors right now to say, okay, well, the bottom is, but obviously there's absolutely zero guarantees. If this is a bear market, I've shown you this before, usually with a bear market, what you have is from there all the way down a minimal around about 85% correction for Bitcoin. You can see it's done in each and every single bear. But what I think we've got here is not necessarily a traditional bear market as such. It's horrible, it's nasty, but what I think we've got is an impulsive move missing here to the upside, because I've gone through this with you many times before. I think that Bitcoin from this point here has been in this big 5-year bull run which ends next year. Okay, and I've gone through this many times with you before. I think you've got 1 year impulsive, 2nd year corrective, 3rd year impulsive, 4th year corrective, and you're missing this final 5th year just there. Okay, and it's a 5-year bull market. I think after that you've got a large prolonged ABC bear market. Okay, and it's sort of lining up with the recession coming next year as well. A lot of people say we're in a recession now and doom and gloom and macro environment. I think it's coming. I don't think it's yet. Okay, and this is just something I'm looking at the chart. So and I've always said that this is a corrective phase of a bull market because exactly what I think it is. I think what we've got is potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're missing this final 5th wave. And you could say, okay, well, in this correction here, this wave 2 correction, Bitcoin came down 72%. In this correction so far from that high, you've come down 72%. So your correction's exactly like that was, that wave 2 correction, wave 4 correction. Job done, you've met all the targets, and you're starting to come back up the stairs. It's a possibility, anything's possible. So what we're looking for is any confluence to say, well, the level that we're at right now is the bottom. So you can see whenever we've lost this 5-day Gaussian on the weekly time frame, okay, whenever you've started to come below it, let's take a look at this instance here. When you come with it, within 5 weeks, basically you're putting the low. As soon as you pierced through the bottom, okay, of the Gaussian just there, within 5 weeks, you put in a low. Job done. Okay, this one here, within 4 weeks, okay, when you lost that support just there, you put in the bottom. Job done. Okay, and then within what we're in 5 weeks right now, which is where we anticipate the bottom was last week. Okay, and we're looking for confluence. That's all it's about. Data matching confluence to back that theory up, and it is all theory, because obviously if this is a bear market, a traditional bear market, this was your top, and Bitcoin's going to come all the way down to around about $9,000, which I see a lot of people's targets, $9,000. Granted, okay, it can happen obviously, but you're not doing it yet. And if you was to start to roll and lose this support that we put in last week, which I said to you is potential bottom, then yes, you've got that projection. Okay, but until that happens, I think that what we're building here is a foundation and a base. Okay, and especially if we don't lose this low, and there's so many confluencing factors right now in the charts that's telling us that this is the bottom. We've had a beautiful impulsive move up and a corrective move, and we're looking like a break here today. Now, all eyes on Bitcoin today, because if it breaks this key resistance, which I'm going to show you in a minute, it's an extremely bullish statement from Bitcoin. So again, if you're not a degen like myself and you didn't buy the dip last Sunday, like I said to you, the dip's going to be when that signal's on the chart cycle low, I'm buying, and I did, and that's it, full transparency. If it rolls, it rolls. I've took my chance, and this is what you do in the space, risk to reward. But anyway, that's me. Okay, and what I would advise for you, if you're sitting on the sidelines, is just wait for the retest of this low. If it holds, fantastic, you get another retest, high low, holds, it's starting to look good, and at that point you could say, okay, well, I'm going to enter, with a tight stop loss down there on that low. Really is that simple, and that's where you ride it up. Okay, really easy. Okay, don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it with guesswork. It's data in the charts, and that's what I've always told you. So right now, let's say, for example, the low is in, okay, and there's another indication here that I want to show you as well. If you take a look at this 5-day, I'm going to say 5-day Gaussian, I do apologise, the weekly Gaussian channel, whenever Bitcoin, you see the 20 EMA, which is an amazing level, this is an amazing indicator in your charts, okay, because we're looking for one thing, I'm going to show you in a moment, but whenever you see the Gaussian get pierced, the lower level of the Gaussian, whenever it pierces, just there, do you see that? Pierce the low end of a Gaussian, the lower channel there, okay, you can see the 20, whenever it pierces it, literally within 1 or 2 weeks, you're putting in your bottom. Look at that, okay, on that cycle there. Just there, let's take another look on this cycle here. Literally, it pierced it on the bottom. Do you see that? And then just there, look when we pierced it just last week on the bottom. So there's a lot of confluencing factors there as well. You know, that this is the bottom right now. We're retracing, we're coming up, running to resistance, and potentially retrace to this bottom that we're putting on Sunday. If it holds, fantastic, because this is the start of an impulsive move to the upside, and that's your fifth wave, which I think is the end of this bull run. And I think the cycles are broken, okay, and I've gone through this with you before. We've got this growth logarithmic chart just there for Bitcoin, and I said to you, the only way Bitcoin can get to that, okay, and that fib target, which I've got from here to here, let me show you. This is your fib target, which you always traditionally get to. The only way Bitcoin could have got to this target, the 2.272, and just between the 2.272 and 2.414, which is where it always gets to, is if Bitcoin does something like this. Do you see that? So again, no guarantees, but this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an impulsive move 1 year, 2019 into 2020, 2018 into 2019, sorry. I think Bitcoin was impulsive. I think from 2019 into 2020, Bitcoin was corrective. Monster ABC zigzag correction. Then you've had an impulsive move from 2020 into 2021, which a lot of you became a part of just there, you know, and then you've had this monster ABC correction coming all the way down, 72% correction, just like the wave 2 correction. And right now, you know, people are getting fearful you're going to do this, or you're in some kind of big prolonged whopping bear market. But the possibility here is that you're going to get some kind of wild V-shaped recovery coming back up to a final fifth wave there in 2023. And this has always been what I've been looking at, okay? I've been going through this with you for many, many months. Obviously zero guarantees, but we're at historic levels right now. So, you know, if this does do this, fantastic, okay? And we're going to get up here somewhere. And, you know, people are disillusioned thinking, yeah, no way, no chance on earth Bitcoin can do that. Bitcoin can do anything. This is what Bitcoin does. For example, just there, you've been in a whopping ABC correction since its high last year. You're putting this a regular correction, okay? Why did it do that? Because this is what Bitcoin does. There was no sort of macro environment affecting it just there. The macro environment started coming into fruition just here. Do you understand? Which is why people think that this is some kind of prolonged bear market, which I personally don't believe it is at the moment, okay? I'm not seeing that at the moment, but obviously that can be invalidated. So, you know, I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm telling you, you're looking right now, you're at the floor, okay? And again, nothing I say is financial advice. This is technical analysis, this is data. You are looking at a potential fifth impulsive wave here, okay? Potentially comes up, gets truncated and rolls like that, okay? And doesn't go to all expectations. But like I said to you so many times, I think what we've got here is lengthening cycles from peak to peak, just there, from there to next year. And I think, you know, you can see that the cycles are just taking longer to get to the top of this growth band, okay? Again, no guarantees. But anyway, that's Bitcoin, you know. I'm finding a lot of confluence that this is the bottom, and it would be fantastic if it is, because I think right from here, you know, leading into next year, you've got this whopping impulsive move to the upside, and we'll trade it all together. So let's take a look at the hourly time frame for Bitcoin right now. So looking at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, then I was anticipating here this little rising wedge here. You broke down, okay, running to resistance, a potential C leg correction down to this low, but it looks as though that's been invalidated, obviously, right now when we're not getting that, and it looks as though this is some kind of ABC zigzag correction just there. So that's a potential wave 2 correction, and what you're doing right now, this is a formation of a new impulsive move to the upside, basically. Now this obviously can get invalidated, but this is your key resistance right now. You see this leg here, this high, this is major resistance. I think if you start to see Bitcoin break that with power, and you can see you're constantly holding these EMAs, this is very, very bullish price action just there for Bitcoin, because if you consistently hold these EMAs like this, okay, and you keep falling back to them, you know, you keep doing that, you're going to create a bullish continuation pattern by holding these EMAs on this breakout. So at this point, this could potentially indicate some kind of God candle here for Bitcoin. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right now is potential retracement to this eye, and it started here just there on the where was that, the 13th of June, last Sunday, basically. Like I said to you, that week, within that week, we're going to capitulate and we're going to start to come back up. So we're looking for confirmation of that. Obviously, you know, you're going to come down. The retracement to this low, when it does come, it needs to hold, okay, to verify that this is the bottom, okay? And you want to see confluence to that and confirmation. So again, you could just wait for that. And equally, you've got this trend line coming down. I do think that at any point when Bitcoin starts to break that trend line, you break out, fall back to a support. That's your entry point, okay, because usually it rides it back up, okay, and it's confirming a retracement just there. So what I'm looking at is retracement levels right now for Bitcoin. So this is your low, this is your high, just there. Let me get that knob on, okay, and you can see that this is where you're retracing to. So like I said to you yesterday, you could see some kind of big impulsive move to retrace the 236 at least, because this is what you see, okay. You see these big monster moves come in, retrace to a level of resistance, come back for support, break out, resistance, support, and do something like that. One thing that could give the game away that you're actually going to retrace all the way to that high and break bullish here and take up, you know, these fib levels, potential targets, is by breaking this trend line. Because historically, whenever Bitcoin's broken this trend line, coming down, losing the 5-day Gaussian, losing the weekly Gaussian, you know, and capitulation, whenever you break this resistance line, that's a major bullish signal for Bitcoin as well, okay, going forward. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's all about this low, like I said to you. This low has to hold that we put in last week, okay. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty tasty, but if we take a look at this retracement that's there, we traded this together. This ran up to the 050 fib. Look at that, boom. You look at the breakout into the 236, comes back into the 0382, came back. So I said to you, you come up and down in waveforms, okay. So at that point, you ran into the 50 fib and then you rolled. So this is a key level resistance just there, okay. And again, you could come all the way up here around about the 382 and retain this resistance and start to roll. It's when you break this resistance that's a really bullish statement from Bitcoin going forward, okay. So like I've put here and I'm posting on Twitter, just wait for the break of that resistance before you want to go long or enter Bitcoin. Really, it's that simple. So anyway, they key level resistance. I do anticipate some kind of break here potentially if you start to see Bitcoin close above 21357 by holding these EMAs consistently since you've broken out here, and a beautiful bullish cross just there. Look at that. So it's some kind of one. You've got an ABC2 just there, and you're looking at a big third wave here, which is always a powerful wave. Now you could see some kind of God candle here breaking that high, taking you to that level of resistance just there for Bitcoin. So let's keep an eye on this. And this could happen quite swiftly, okay. You could see some kind of big God candle today or over the next couple of days on Bitcoin. So all eyes on the stock market open today. It was on holiday yesterday, wasn't it? So keep an eye on that, but it's looking pretty tasty. Now obviously if we get rejected at this point, you know, and we begin to retrace here off this high, you know, you can see there's a bit of resistance just there. But this is what happens with resistance, like I've taught you so many times. You coil up, you keep holding these EMAs, and this is nice because you come up, you've broken out, holding these EMAs like this, okay, in a bullish cross. Look at that, holding the EMAs, boom. If you consistently hold that, you're going to create an ascending triangle here, coil up, and you've got your God candle, and it's a breakout to that. That's your target, 24246, and that would be, if we take a look at it, that's a beautiful long op, again with a really tight stop loss. That's your long op from there to there, around about 14%. Where's your stop loss? You could say my stop loss is down here on this low, okay, because that's invalidating this impulsive move up, because potentially what you've got, this is your low right now, okay, of an ABC correction, and this is impulsive. You're looking at potential 1 coming back in for a 2, big 3, 4, 5, and you've got your third wave just there, okay, from this low. So that's basically trading, isn't it? So here's your stop loss just there, because that invalidates this ABC correction, this impulsive wave 1 which you're forming right now, okay. And then if you start to come back and you lose that, you're invalidating this being a low. So again, you know, always use stop losses, don't over leverage, don't be a degen, but this could be a perfect little trade going forward on Bybit, because with a tight stop loss you could be looking at around about 13-14% upside God candle to 24246, where I would TP at that point, because that's a major level resistance, okay. Good luck everybody, but keep an eye on this on the hourly time frame. If we keep holding this 20 in this 55 coming up like this is beautiful price action just there for Bitcoin. Coil up an ascending triangle. Hopefully I come back to you tomorrow and we've just absolutely broke out here, you know. And failing that, like I said to you, if you start to come down, get stopped out on your trade, because this is the top and you come in for some kind of big ABC correction here, and this retracement will have to hold this low. This is your key low going forward for Bitcoin, okay, to validate that is the bottom, obviously, okay. So take care everyone, back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, bye bye.